All right, so I'm going to be doing this better. Can you guys see that just fine? It's like a white.
Yes, the whiteboard.
Sweet. I like this whiteboard. All right. So hey, so that I was talking about this formula, right? I was talking about this formula of success. Um, I think I presented this to some of you guys before, but I want to kind of talk about it again because it is important, okay? Because you will face these challenges, and these challenges, man, some of them are going to be easy, some of them are going to be like medium, some of them are going to be difficult, challenging, hard, and some other ones are going to be catastrophic, right? And the catastrophic ones come every now and then. They're not very common, but when they do, they hit hard. And if you don't know how to manage that, it can really throw you off to the point where you're just off course for a long time. And this happens to a lot of people. And the reason so is because they don't really face these challenges in a way where they should embrace them. They face them in a way where they resent them. So why is this shit happening to me? Why I don't want to have to do this. I don't, all this stuff. They just like resent the fact that these challenges are are manifesting in their life. You have to understand that these challenges are really being presented to you as a blessing because that's where the lesson lies. Like if you learned all these cool skills of how to run a business and everything, but you never actually open a business to challenge your skills, it doesn't make much of a difference. It's just a bunch of information but you're never going to use. You have to start using the information to get the results that you want to get from knowing that information, right? Such as getting your real estate license. That's nice. A lot of people get their real estate license, and you know what they do? They don't work real estate. And so they put all this energy to get this license, right? To not work real estate. I'm like, okay, great. So why did you waste that money and the time and everything to do this? What was the point? I don't know. And it's kind of scary, but it's true. I think we're all kind of guilty of this. We kind of like we start something but don't finish it. I'm guilty of it, 100%. And it just makes you wonder, like, why did you start something and then just stop? You know, like what happened? What's the psychology going on there? The the challenges you'll face along the way, they're good for you. That's how you really test your skills. There's no way to test your skills without any challenges. It's like going to school and not being tested, right? You learn all this information. As you really learn it, well, you go ahead and show that you've learned it by passing exams, quizzes, whatever, right? Writing an essay. That's the challenge, right? Because how else can you really prove that you've learned the information, right? Or that you know what you've learned? It will always be through a challenge, people. That's what you need to understand. That's important. So when you have this equation, right? This is let me see. Oh, there we go. So for success, right? The equation for success is gonna look something like this. It equals definitely time. It requires your time in order to become successful, okay? Most definitely. The other one is gonna be energy, right? You're gonna have to put energy into it. Now, I'm talking about a couple of forms of energy. One is your spiritual energy, where you kind of focus on it, pray on it, meditate on it, and everything. But the other one is your physical energy. When you work, the work you put into it, right? Is more like the physical energy you put into building your business, building your marriage, building your body, right? Time, energy, work, right? And then the final part of it is going to be the challenges, right? The challenges are necessary. Now you can view these challenges in many different ways. My understanding of my reality has been evolving over the years, right? And through that evolution, my understanding and my perspective of how I view challenges is completely different than how I used to view them, right? I used to kind of think challenges, okay, this is a universe testing me whether I'm worthy or not. and all this. Oh, this is God, putting this challenge in front of me because I know on the other side there's a blessing waiting for me. Yeah, all that's true. But the reality of the situation, it isn't the universe creating these challenges, nor is it God. It is you manifesting these challenges yourself. And you're not doing it consciously, you're doing it subconsciously. Because what's really happening is that these challenges are rooted into your subconscious, okay? They're rooted into the subconscious, rooted into the SB. I just abbreviate this thing, the subconscious. These are specifically rooted to the disempowering beliefs, right? The disempowering beliefs so the disempower beliefs, right? The ones that don't serve you, that's where all the challenges are rooted. They're all rooted within you. Everything you manifest into your life is manifested by you, okay? The good and the bad, by the way. But understand, the shit that we consider to be bad isn't necessarily bad for us. It's just the stuff, the beliefs that don't serve us that we have to overcome and get rid of. But the way you do this is by taking the belief that you have and you manifest them as challenges in your life that you then need to overcome. And by overcoming these challenges, you then overcome the beliefs that hold you back. And then you start establishing a new belief, an empowering belief to replace a disempowering belief. And you begin to change your subconscious. And it begins to change not just who you are, but it begins to change what you manifest into your life. This is how life works. I've explained this in many different angles. This is a different angle that I've explained it now, right? But I've talked about how it works, how your thoughts stimulate emotions, and how those emotions stimulate your actions, right? And how those emotions can also be put out a magnetic field around you that then attracts opportunities into your life that you can then take the actions and take advantage of and then create the results that you have been focusing on. This is the process. This is the most basic way I can explain it, right? And so this is exactly what happens here. Your subconscious is always going to win, okay? And so when you're faced with a challenge, understand that you have subconsciously attracted this challenge into your life, and there's a lesson for you to learn there. And unless you learn the lesson, this challenge is going to continue to repeat. We talked about that cycle people get caught on, right? They're always dealing with financial problems all the time. They can never catch a break. They're always dealing with health problems. They always have relationship problems. And it's just repeating itself. And why is this? It's because they're caught up in the past. They focus so much on the past and the emotions they felt from the failure of the events and the experiences that they have had, that it repeats itself. Not just that, the only way they can get out of the cycle is by overcoming the challenge. There is no other way. Unless you overcome the challenge and learn the lessons that are embedded into this challenge that you actually manifested for yourself to help you, unless you learn, you'll be stuck in that cycle forever, right? And you have to see it this way, because any other way doesn't make any sense. Any other way, you think it might be random. Oh, these things are just random. It randomly happened to me, this stupid challenge. Nope, it wasn't random. Nothing in this universe is random, no matter how much they try to convince you that this universe is randomly put together. Dude, if you really look at how perfect this world is, when it comes down to the ecosystems and how balanced they are, if you look at individual organisms, such as, say, for instance, just one of these squirrels out here, how perfectly they're designed to climb trees and jump from tree to tree, and they can go upside down and everything is just, it's incredible. They're just perfectly designed to climb trees. I mean, with perfection. You don't really see squirrels falling off of trees, right? Why is that? Because they're designed to be able to manage themselves on these trees. The way their claws and their paws are designed, right? Even the shape of their body, their torsos, like all that is just designed in a way where they can perfectly hug the tree and climb it and maneuver across trees. And they're light too, so they can go on the light branch and it won't break on them or fall because they're designed to be light as well, right? Where the trees can support them. So you can go on and on and on. Look at the plants. Look at yourself. The human body, like how perfect it is. And you think all this came through randomness? No, randomness isn't a thing in this world. Okay, what causes randomness is something else, which I can explain later on. But in reality, the things you manifest into your life are the things that are manifested by your subconscious, and there's no randomness there. Okay, and these challenges are for you. They're gifts to you, so you can then overcome, and you can grow, and you can expand. That's where it's important for you. Okay, so you must see these challenges as a part of this equation. It's a part of the equation of success. Okay, you have the time. Of course, time is, you have to put the time into your business in order to become successful. You have to put the time into your marriage or your relationships in order to have success there, right? You have to put time in taking care of your body, eating well, exercising in order to have a successful, healthy body. The energy, all right? How you focus on this, your mental energy, spiritual energy, and then your physical energy that you put into building your business, building your body, building your marriage, right? And then the challenges you face along the way, all these can lead you to success if you can do all of these. Most people can do the first three, but the second they face a tough challenge, that's when people quit. Okay, but it's because they have a false perception of the challenge. They think the challenge is hindering them, but in reality, the challenge is there to help them and to assist them in their growth and in their development. All right. And again, the challenge itself is manifested through the individual's subconscious. It's all rooted there because you have disempowering beliefs that you need to overcome. And the way we do it is by manifesting these beliefs almost into the physical world, so we can then face them head on in the physical world, so we can prove to ourselves that we're better and that we've grown. And when you overcome them and get the lesson, you start seeing and you start growing and developing and having the success you want to have, right? And so we all understand, hey, these challenges, they come around all the time, right? You have the challenges in your health, you have challenges in your marriage, you have challenges in your business, you have challenges within specific deals in your business, right? You have challenges in your finances. If you want to invest, there's challenges there. That's fine. These challenges, you should embrace them. If you can become the type of person who gets excited to face challenges, you can change your life. You will be successful. I'm telling you right now, you 100%, you'll be successful if you get excited to face challenges, right? For me, when I see you guys face challenges, I get excited. Like for instance, like Jules been dealing with this deal. It makes me laugh because literally everything that can possibly can go wrong in this deal has been going wrong. But what's great is the fact that even though things have gone wrong, she's always found a solution. Literally, she's always found a solution. And that makes me very excited for her. And there are things I didn't have the answer for her for a lot of these things because it's just a very different type of property, right? But it looks like we finally found a solution for the final thing we faced a challenge to, and that's exciting. And she's excited, but she's gone through a bunch of agony, crying and up and down with her emotions and everything because it's been that tough. But I see it as something that's helping her grow. That's why I laugh. I laugh because I know that it's helping her. I know that this is good for her, I know that it is. And even though it doesn't feel good, look, she's putting the time into it. She's putting the energy where she focuses on what she wants. She's putting the work into it, and she's facing challenges. It's a part of the equation, there's nothing new to it at all. She's facing those challenges, and they will be tough sometimes where you'll get a little discouraged, and that's okay. But just because you get discouraged doesn't mean you have to quit. Discouragement is just kind of the normal emotion we kind of feel when as humans, you know, you get kind of disappointed, like, oh shit, here we go, fuck. I'm like, all right, I don't want to deal with this, but I have to deal with it. And so what's the problem? Right? That's it. When you face a challenge, what is the problem? And then once you've identified the problem, okay, let's find a solution. You may not know what the solution is. That's where we talk. That's where we talk to the lender, talk to whoever we need to talk to who has the answer for us. And we find the solution. And that's exactly what she's done every time she had a challenge. She had to find somebody who had the answer, the information, right? Like for instance, at the end of it all, the buyer can't finance that house, right? Because the lender made a mistake, who thought she knew what she was talking about, but she didn't, right? And then what surprised me too is the fact that this realtor who works out there, who's done a lot of deals out there, she didn't know that this loan situation wasn't going to work. And it's most likely because she's the type of realtor who doesn't bother to learn about the loan process. That's why it's really important for you guys to learn about the loan process, because it benefits you as a realtor. It really does, by the way, to know the loan process. You don't need to know everything now to go out there and be successful, but as you gain experience, you want to learn more and more about the loan process. Because if she was aware of it, she probably would have seen that problem before, because they've wasted 6 weeks. Now, what's the solution? Well, the seller is willing to do an owner finance, right? Where they kind of set up a promissory note where the buyer promises to pay the seller. But this is a very particular top one because the seller still has a mortgage. So this is a wraparound deed, is what they call it, right? And she was talking to the people at the title company that she was using. They had no idea what that was. I made a phone call to the title company that I use, and they've done these before, and they have all the resources we need through them to get it done. And so with that, we should get it done. Thank God, right? So, but that's what it takes, though, you know? It takes finding who has the answer. Finding your resources are so important, and really uh, you really want to exhaust your resources when you're doing research on this type of stuff, you know, and you're going to have to sometimes because there's no other option. If you don't know the answer and I don't know the answer, well, we have to find someone who knows the answer that's outside of us, right? And this is how it works when we face challenges. A challenge is just a problem. What is the problem? Identify what the problem is, and then now we can then go to the resources necessary to find the solution to that problem. And so you shouldn't have to stress too much about these challenges. I know it'd be nice if everything worked out nicely, super smooth, no challenges. We all want that. But that's pretty that's not very common, right? Probably like 50-60% of my deals go 100% very smooth. 40% of I guess I'd say probably 30% of my deals, we hit some challenges, but we get it done. And then 10% of my deals, we hit some really tough challenges, right? That's about the percentage that I'm seeing, well, at least through my experience. And that's okay. Challenges are gifts, they're opportunities to grow for you. So learn to embrace those challenges. All right. Any comments or questions about this amazing equation that I presented to you guys? Let me erase this thing. There it is. So hey, this is a big one for you guys. Hopefully you guys can take this one well and use it, you know, because it's applicable to all of us. The challenges, they're never gonna go away. Trust me. And I've talked about this before. I'm gonna actually draw it out right now of how it looks. Because we all want to be successful. Hey, I want to be successful. You guys want to be successful. We all want to be successful, right? So on this one is we call it money, right? Right here, you have here just It's gonna be 50,000 here, 100,000 here. Let's just go all the way up here. Let's just call this a million. So this is how much money you're making per year, right? So when you're making, say, $50,000 a year, the reason you're making $50,000 a year is because that's it. That's exactly what the market sees your value as an employee, right? Making $50,000 a year. $50,000 a year, you can probably make this at McDonald's or something like that, right? Working full time, maybe in lower management or something like that. But think about the challenges a McDonald's manager has to face. You know, these challenges are equivalent for them to get paid $50,000 a year. Okay. Now, here you have somebody making $100,000 a year. All right. Now, at $100,000 a year, this individual is handling problems that are much more complicated than the McDonald's manager. Okay. And so therefore, they're compensated accordingly because the challenges they face are more complicated challenges. You're right here, you require more skill. This is your skill level, right? You require a higher skill level in order to get paid this much. Now you have somebody who's making $1 million a year. Again, same difference. They are handling problems that are more complicated than the problems dealt with by somebody who's making $100,000 a year, right? Imagine people who are making billions. They're dealing with problems that are basically worth billions of dollars, right? So therefore they get paid accordingly. We can't even fathom at this moment in our lives what those problems even look like, right? And at our position now, we probably wouldn't have the skills necessary to solve those types of problems. Okay. But what's good is that, yeah, it's fine. $50,000 is good. That's where you start though. And then you build up, and you build up over time. Okay. And that's what you should be doing. That's what's going to happen with you with your business. What you're doing right now, if you're making only $50,000 a year, is because right now you have the skill level where $50,000 a year is what you're hitting, right? Once you increase your skill level, you can handle up to 100,000. Even more, you can get up to $1 million per year. This is not an impossibility. This is actually quite possible with real estate. But what does it require of you? You have to build your skill set. You have to continuously work on yourself. This is how you get there. Okay? You're not going to get there without working on yourself. You have to work on yourself. There's no other way. You have to continuously develop, okay, and develop new skills. You want to be making $1 million a year? Start developing those skills. Start learning about investments. Start learning about what currency is. What is money? What is inflation? How does that affect us? How does that affect your money? All those things are important, people. You want to be rich? You got to think like rich people. And rich people know finances. Rich people know money. Rich people know how the money system, how it works, and how that the fact that it is corrupt and that it is controlled by the banks. That's the truth. There's no lie, there's no conspiracy theory there. That's the absolute truth. And these people who make millions and billions, they know. They're aware of it. But they know just enough to the point where they can take advantage of it and use it to leverage their money and make tons of money. And that's how they do it. And so therefore you need to understand the system too, because in that way you know how to better invest for yourself and for your family, right? Because look, real estate, you can make a lot of money, but you really want to be wealthy, you got to start investing. You want to invest, you have to learn about investing. There is no other way. Well, you'll get lucky? No. Most likely, if you're getting lucky, it's just the chances of that happening are pretty slim. You're going to need to continuously work on your skill set, okay? become more valuable in the marketplace, and you will make more money. And so therefore, don't stop reading books that help you develop new skills, especially those skills that are around investments and financing and what money is, okay? Because those are the most important skills if you really want to create wealth. If you really wanted to be healthy, well, then start studying health. What is that? What does that look like to you, right? If you want to have healthy relationships, okay, no problem. Start studying human behavior, right? These are the people, humans if you're having relationships with humans, you want to learn about human behavior, right? There's tons of great books out there, resources, people who teach this information. I mean, the stuff that I'm teaching you guys now is that exactly, by the way, right? So start using it, start applying it, and start slightly adjusting your understanding of your reality. The spiritual evolution is literally just you continuously improving your understanding of your own reality. You want to improve on that continuously, okay? And that's what's going to help you become incredibly successful over time. And you're going to realize you just can't stop. You can't stop learning, can't stop growing, right? These people who make billions and everything in their 60s and 80s and 90s, they're still working, bro. They work it because that's what they love to do, right? And the reason they do that is because these people know the second they stop working, they're dead. They're gonna die. You know, like you actually live longer when you actually have a purpose to live, especially when you have a job or work or do something, especially if you do something you love. And at that point, when you're already making millions, especially billions, you're doing something. You must be doing something you love because you don't stop with it, right? So any questions or comments about that, about building your skill set? Because that's important. This is how you become valuable in the marketplace, people. You have to develop your skill set, like, well, and you guys already are, you know, with every client that you guys close, you guys are going to develop more and more your skills when it comes down to real estate. And that's exactly what we want for you. We want you guys to develop those skills, all right? And then the other thing I just wanted to show you, and I've shown this chart before as well, but I like repetition because repetition is the key to mastering. And so, and I want you guys to understand how this works, okay? This is very similar too. So the y-axis is going to be progress. And then the x-axis is time. Okay? So as you work your business over time, you're going to notice that maybe in the beginning it looks like this, but then after a certain amount of time, you start increasing your progress. You want to get to this point. This is the point you want to get to, right? Where you really start seeing that progress and changing. Right? It's right around there. Because in the beginning, you're not seeing much. But what happens is this: that you will hit a threshold. You will hit a barrier here, and you just can't break through it. This right here, I'll just identify what it is. It's a disempowering belief. All right, that's a P. Disempower. Right. This is a disempowering belief, and it's being manifested by you. And there's something you need to overcome in order for you to get to the next level. And if you're fearful, if you're afraid of facing it because you're scared, then you're never going to overcome it. And you're going to literally be stuck in this segment of progress for a long time, maybe even for the rest of your life, if you choose not to face the challenge and break through it, because you can break through this. You have to keep trying, identify the problem, find a solution, identify the problem, find a solution, and then you all of a sudden break through, and then you're on the next level, right? And you're growing, 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 and then eventually, what happens again is that you hit another disempowering belief. These are all disempowering beliefs. This just says disempower. I know you can't read that, but that's what it says, right? And so here you go. You're just bumping off of this, bumping off of this. You're identifying the problem, trying to find a solution. It doesn't work. Identify the problem, try to find a solution. It doesn't work. Identify the problem, try to find a solution. Doesn't work. And then all of a sudden, boom, and you're in the next level. And you continue your progress. And you're going to have many, 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 many levels of these. They don't stop, by the way. Okay. This is what it looks like in a chart like this. Usually it's going to require you at this point, at these points here where you're hitting these disempowering beliefs, is going to require you to learn new information. I think that's pretty obvious. But many times it also requires you to learn new skills. Okay? This is where you're telling yourself, hey, you have to learn new skills. Let's go ahead and create this challenge for you so we can force you to learn a new skill, right? And so you can continuously develop your skills and become more valuable in the marketplace. Because as you progress here, you're making more money, okay? You're progressing, you're growing, you're developing more skills, you're becoming more valuable in the marketplace, and you're making more money. All right? That's what it looks like here. And yes, it doesn't end, okay? Some of these challenges can be simple challenges. Some of these challenges can be very difficult, challenging challenges that take more work and time and energy to overcome. But nonetheless, they are gifts, right? Challenges are gifts, opportunities to grow. And so embrace them. All right. I've talked about the same thing through different visuals. Hopefully that one of these visuals kind of made sense to you, maybe resonated with you. And so I just wanted to make sure we hit those things because I've been facing, well, Fedra and I have been facing a lot of challenges lately, and it really makes you question a lot of stuff, right? But in reality, if this is what I believe, then I understand that these challenges were only challenges that we're manifesting. She's manifesting these challenges within herself because she knows she needs to take her body, her health to the next level. And that's why that's what it's telling her. At least that's how I perceive it, right? She may not perceive it that way, but that's how I perceive it. And so what are you going to change now to improve your health? You know, what do you got to do? Because that's what happens. You know, you go to a doctor and they diagnose you with, I don't know, diabetes, heart disease, you know, high blood pressure, whatever. Okay, there's your challenge. What are you going to learn from it? Right? Are you going to change? Are you going to continue to eat like shit? Or are you going to change the way you eat? Right? Are you going to start exercising, or are you just going to not ever exercise ever again for the rest of your life? Right? It's really up to you because those things will make the change, and your body's telling you what you got to do by presenting these challenges to you, right? And so that's how this whole process works. It's very systematic, but it's the way it's been designed. And when I say it's been designed, I mean it's been designed by God this way. This is how the universe has been set up in a way for us to work in, right? And so if we understand the rules, we can then be successful. And I'm trying to teach you these rules in a way where they make sense to you, they resonate with you, and to the point where you guys start using them. Because that's when you really start seeing the progress in your life, when you use these skills, right? When you use this information, when you start perceiving life differently. And all you're really doing is what? This whole spiritual evolution thing that we're going through is just us improving our understanding of our own reality. That's it. And we're going to continue to work on that. Okay. You can never stop. The second you stop, you're pretty much dead because you don't feel alive anymore. You really feel dead inside, don't you? When you do nothing. We all know how that feels, to feel like, damn, like I gotta get off my ass and do something, right? Like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I wasting hours of my time doing shit that doesn't help me? And this is how most people live their lives, right? And they feel that emotion, but they ignore it. You know, what they do is no, they bury it under food. They eat extra food, sweets to hide that emotion. They consume an excess amount of alcohol to hide that emotion. They do drugs to hide that emotion because they don't want to face the reality of the fact that they are wasting their life away and that being lazy is a sin. And I don't believe in sin, but that's what they say. It's a sin, right? Being lazy will never will never allow you to get to the level that you want to get to. Laziness will never get it. You have to work and you have to put the effort. And that's why I'm proud of all of you for sticking with your business for as long as you have. You know, you're starting to get some momentum now. You guys see it. I see it. I'm excited for you guys. And I'm very proud of you guys for just, hey, for sticking with it, you know, for believing in me too, because I know you very easily you guys could just lose belief in yourself. But if you guys believe in me, hopefully that belief helps you believe in yourself too. Because I do believe in all of you. The potential is something every single one of us possesses. All right. So I know I've been talking for a bit. Any questions or comments you guys want to add to any of the information that I presented to you?
No, man, just church on Saturday.
Hey man, that's what this is, right? This is church.
Right.